y'all! Welcome back to Rooted Hearts Homestead. My life is kind of together this week and it's too cold to be working outside, so I thought I would show you guys my first attempt at making goat cheese. So to start, I am going to be doing the lemon method. So I have 2 lemons here. I also have a helper. Can you wave? Yep. Helper. And I have 2 quarts or a half gallon of goat's milk. There are other tools that I will need, so I'm going to gather those real quick. We'll see if we can get the baby to go down. You may be in my hand with her.
Alright.
So, she's so funny. Okay, I also grabbed a strainer. I'm going to grab one of my tea towels for straining it. I want to have everything ready to go so that I'm not waiting on anything. I'm going to straight into this. This is a 6-quart container that I got with a gift card from Christmas from King Arthur's baking supplies stuff. They have some really cool things on there, but I have been looking for these containers and they had them and I believe they were on sale. That's why I picked them up. But it holds my strainer really nicely so I can put my cloth and then strain out my curds for this. Now, I guess this is technically considered a farmer's cheese because I am using lemons and not using a culture. Like I said, I've never made it before, but it sounded easy enough, and so I'm just gathering my supplies, and I'll walk you through what I'm doing and when. Joseph got me these towels for Christmas, and I really love them. We don't do a crazy gift exchange, just maybe 1 or 2 things that we've been looking at, and one of the things I told him, I just didn't know where to find a good quality tea towel. And it's thin enough that I can use it for projects. And I also like things like this where I'm straining stuff, but then you can double it up and dry dishes with it or whatever you need to do.
Mommy.
I embroidered some of them and we use them as our hand drying towels, and I love seeing the embroidery on that. And then other ones I keep and use for this sort of a project. So I'm going to slice open my lemons and juice them, then move on to heating my milk. So they said you needed juice of 2 lemons for 2 quarts of milk. So basically, I guess it's 1 lemon per quart. Again, this is my first time making it, so I did some research. There's multiple ways to make a soft goat cheese, and this just was the easiest that I found. It used ingredients that I had on hand instead of having to get cheese making supplies to see if I even enjoy doing this. I know it takes time. You have to heat the milk slowly. You have socks? Go put them on. Go ask Josie to put on your socks. Go ask Josie. So you have to heat your milk slowly. So it'll take a little bit of time, but I think the payoff is going to be really awesome. So this is right at a 1/2 cup of juice. So I think that's about right. I'm going to wash my hands real quick, and then we're going to filter this so that it doesn't have any of the seeds in it. Yeah, and we'll go from there. Okay, all strained and ready to go. I didn't want to start any of this until I had everything ready because I didn't want to be out of step and not be ready for it. So, 2 quarts of milk, lemon juice, thermometer, wooden spoon. Yeah, let's get started. Everything I've read says to heat it slow and low. Do not try and heat it fast. Just sit there and stir. It's not worth it won't work otherwise, if you heat it up too fast. So right now we got to be at like 40 degrees because we've been in the fridge. Yep. So I'm going to get the temperature up to 180. And then I will stir in the lemon juice. Let it set for like 10 minutes. And then that should separate it and make the cheese portion. After that 10 minutes, I'm supposed to dump it into here, let it strain. After I do that, then I add salt. Supposedly that's it. There's nothing more to it. So that'll be the process that we use. Yeah. Come back at you when it's at 180. If you're curious as to why you continually stir it, it's so that it does not scorch. If scorched milk won't taste good. So I'm just going to stand here and stir for a long time. We have made it to, I think, 130. So we have 50 more degrees to go. Just watching it get up here. Don't want it to just milk to sit still. Yes, it's going to be cheese. Yep, we're right at 130. So it's starting to get a little bit foamy. What would you like? Cheese. I know you'd like cheese. This is going to be cheese, but we have to wait. It takes time. So I changed thermometers. I just feel like this one gets a better read. And it is saying 168, 169. Yeah. It's kind of flipping between the two. So, getting really close. So I'll keep you updated and hopefully we'll do this. This has taken me actually quite a bit of time. I've probably been standing here for 30 to 45 minutes now. I think this would be something I would choose to make during nap time versus right before dinner. My thought process was that I could have it straining, make dinner, go milk goats, and come back in, and it would be done straining by then. But if it is going to take this long, that may not be a realistic thing. Yeah, so things that I'm learning with this, do it, especially if you're a mom and you have kids that do nap time, pick nap time versus right before dinner. They're really close. Oop. There it goes. All right. So it said once it hit 180, turn off the heat, remove it, and stir in this delicious smelling lemon juice. I love citrus. And then wait 10 to 15 minutes. So you can see it's a little bit foamy. It's got some bubbles in it. This is exactly what they wanted it to look like according to the different recipes that I read. So yeah, here we go. I am immediately seeing a difference. Oh my goodness, this doesn't take long at all. So, it said to let it sit for 10 minutes. So I'm going to do that. And then I will come back to it. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. You can already see just how much it's changed and how much it's curdled. So, anyway, yes, back at you in 10. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes. I am putting the cheese, we'll see what we get. This is what it looks like right now. And I'm going to put it in this, which is what I showed you before. I put the colander inside of my tub with a cloth in it. This is a tea towel, or what I would consider a tea towel. So it's a lightweight cloth. I don't even know what flour sack towel. Could be called other things, but it's just a lightweight cloth. It will strain through. As you can see, it's not super heavy. So I'm going to pour it in here, and then I'll show you what it looks like after I pour it. Everything I read said to pour carefully because these were fragile curds. I've been looking at 2 different recipes called 2 different things. One was called Chev and one was called farmer's cheese, and they were basically the same thing. So it's just a soft goat cheese. So they said just to be careful with the curds. It's not like doing a hard cheese where you've got a culture and everything in it. Because we're just using lemon juice, it's a little more fragile. So I'm gonna pour it in here, and then I'll show you what we got. Okay, so interesting. This now needs to drain for a couple hours and cool. I think those 2 things are going to be very important. And then once it drains for a couple hours and cools, I after that mix in salt and shape it. So in a couple hours, I will come back to this and we'll see what it looks like. Right now it doesn't look like much of anything, but it smells pretty good. So yeah, we'll see. Here we are. It's been 2 more hours. It's now 8 p.m. At this point, I am for sure that I never want to make this in the evening again. It just took too long. I have now finished milking the goats. The goat milk is in the freezer doing its 1-hour chill. And now we get to do this. I am going to put it in this dish and then add salt and then kind of like pat it down to shape it. I know that you can make like logs and stuff out of them, but my thought process is I use these Pyrex dishes to store things in my fridge, so it will work well for that. And it's a nice size to fit on the very top shelf of my fridge, which is a little bit shorter than the other one. So yes, let's get this done. There it is. It looks honestly like a wrinkly caterpillar. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. That's exactly what it reminds me of. Look at this side. It totally reminds me of a caterpillar. Okay, so now I'm going to transfer that into here. The consistency is not bad, actually. It definitely needs salt. It tastes really good, though. I mean, like, it needs salt, but it tastes really good. So I'm going to sprinkle some salt on. One spot said 1/8 of a teaspoon per quart. I'm just going to sprinkle it on. And then I'll shape it. But as you can see, it looks pretty good. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I like things less salty versus more salty, so we'll do this much. Who knows? Maybe it'll be too salty. But it's cheese, so I don't think so. Gently mix that in. I'm going to use the towel because it's wet to press this down. Straight out of the towel, I felt like it looked very nice and everything. Looks kind of like a cauliflower head now. But I'm going to cool this down in the fridge and we'll see. But yeah, so let's be realistic in the amount of milk that it took to make this versus how much I got. This is out of a 1/2 gallon of milk. And I would say I got maybe, I don't even know, 1.5 cups of cheese. Yeah. So I don't know if that's different if you don't make it like farmer's cheese, if you use a culture. I'll have to try that out. For having no experience making cheese and then getting to this point, I feel like we're doing pretty good. I can see it working really well on the bread that I just made and then putting an egg on top, which is usually how I eat my cheese. Yeah, I use it kind of as a spread, so we'll see. We're gonna completely get it in the fridge, cooled down, and ready to go. Thanks for coming along with me on this adventure. The whey is not going to be wasted at all. It is going to go to the pigs. They will be very, very happy with this. And I am going to see you guys next week. Have a great one.